to a brand new video. Today we are doing NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Wednesday, November 2nd. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There's also a Discord link where we're building a super strong community. Over 1,500 members now in the Discord. Everyone's just trying to help each other win. Discord link is in the description, as well as Patreon link, where I do give all the Patreon plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play: NBA, college football, NFL, player props on PrizePicks, multiple sports here. Yesterday on NBA, we did pretty well. Definitely a bounce back day for us. We went 7-3 on the day. Both of our YouTube plays hit. Core plays, we did go 5-1. Rudy Gobert missed. He literally had, I think, 8 rebounds at halftime. And I'm following the game. I'm thinking it's a for sure over, and he literally finishes with 10. Absolutely insane here. He got, bodied by Bismack Biyombo. And then two of our lean plays hit. And the Lugans Dort, I just want to talk about this for a second. We had his original over 27.5 with Josh Giddey being out. This is the third time this has happened now. OKC rules Josh Giddey out. We make the player props based on Josh Giddey being out. An hour before the game starts, they say he's active and he's in the starting lineup. Dort's line drops down to 25.5, and he finishes with 23. Right, so no Josh Giddey in this lineup. Dort easily clears 27.5. He clears 25.5. Definitely got screwed on this one. This is, again, third time this has happened with OKC this year, ruling a player out, and then him being active and playing. But nonetheless, 7-3 on the day. Definitely a great bounce back day on Patreon. Link is in the description below. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 total player props here today. We do have a massive slate. I believe it's 12 games today. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games on the slate. So massive. I guess this is one of the bigger slate, as big as it can probably get. As far as, I know there's a lot of back-to-backs, and a lot of teams are playing the same team they played the game before in these games today. So let's get into it. Again, not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. Simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully giving you guys some insight analysis to make your own player props here. But let's get into it. The first one I like is going to be Julius Randle, and I like his over 18.5 points here against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I also think 37.5 fantasy is interesting as well, just because I feel like it's kind of low. But I like Julius here for a few reasons. One, he's playing the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks against the power forward position are giving up the most fantasy points to the power forward position. 54.1 NBA fantasy points. Points per game, they are giving up, the 7th most at 25.1 points per game. Rebounds, they're giving up 12.3, the third most rebounds. They're giving up the most, the 5th most three-pointers. And overall, they are just giving up a ton of, number one most fantasy points to the power forward position in the NBA. Now, that kind of rides off 2 games, I guess, from 2 different players. Giannis and Pascal went crazy against the Hawks, 34-17-4 for Giannis, 31-12-6 for Pascal. And, obviously Julius isn't the same player as both these guys, but they do kind of play similar roles in the offenses. Both these guys have legit point guards in Drew Holiday and Fred VanVleet. Julius Randle now has Jalen Brunson. So I expect, Julius Randle to play well here tonight against the Atlanta Hawks at home in the Garden. Julius, in his career against the Hawks, has played extremely well. This is his career numbers with the Hawks while he's with the Knicks. So he's got scoring. He's only missed this twice, 17 and 8 here against the Hawks, but 24, 25, 28, 33, 35, 40, and 44 against the Hawks. Look at these 2 games in 2021 against the Hawks at the Madison Square Garden. 44 points, 40 points, right? So he plays extremely well against the Hawks. Now, this obviously, when you first look at this play, you look at his last 5, you don't really feel too strong about it. And, like I've talked about in previous videos, you can't necessarily just go based on the last 5. These player props are, these lines are set, for you to be conflicted, whether to go over or under, right, on these props. But Julius Randle here, I think he's in a smash spot against the Hawks. Obviously, these teams are kind of been, pitted against each other as rivals, I guess you could say, in recent years. Trae Young, and the Knicks and Madison Square Garden. So I expect this to be a pretty electric game here. But Julius has feasted against the Hawks in his career, and overall, the Hawks are giving up the most fantasy points to the power forward position in the NBA. So Again, 18.5 seems super reasonable for Julius Randle. Like, if Julius Randle can't hit 18.5 points here against the Hawks, I mean, he's definitely not the player I think he once was. But also, I think if you take a look at Julius' game log this season, right, he's had some tough matchups. You know, he faced Giannis here and Evan Mobley here and had 15 points. And then he played Giannis here and had 14 points. So two really, really good defensive power forwards that he was matched up with in these two games. But, I mean, he had 25 against the Magic, 24 against the Memphis Grizzlies, 17 against Charlotte. So I think there is going to be opportunity for him to score here. If he can get 15-plus shots, you know, in this game, 16, 19, 19, and 13, I think it definitely bodes well for him to hit the over on this. But this is just one of those plays where, you know, look at the data, look at the previous games, look at the matchup, and I think all of those are in line for Julius to hit the over on this. So I'm gonna ride with it. Julius over 18.5 points against the Hawks.
Jusuf Nurkic over 26.5 points plus rebounds here against the Memphis Grizzlies. So at the time of this video, Steven Adams, let's refresh this to see if anything has changed here. Steven Adams is currently questionable for this game. I like this play regardless if Steven Adams plays or not, but if he is currently questionable and if he in fact does not play, I like this play even more. So Steven Adams not playing questionable here would put Brandon Clark and Xavier Tillman against Jusuf Nurkic, who I don't think either one of those guys can really guard him. So Jusuf Nurkic points plus rebounds this season. He's hit the over on 26.5 just twice, had 37 and 42. Again, 42 was here without Damian Lillard. He had 27 points, 15 rebounds in 32 minutes, had assist, a steal, and 3 blocks. Shot 12 for 17 from the field. Just played extremely well, extremely efficient here against Alperen Sengun. But if you take a look here at a few other things, so Jusuf Nurkic's career high, his second most points he's ever scored here just came last season against the Memphis Grizzlies, who he's placing tonight. If we take a look at the player stats, in fact, Steven Adams did play in that game. Steven Adams played 36 minutes. Jusuf Nurkic here played 34 minutes, had 32, 8, and 4, 12 for 17 from the field, and that was without Damian Lillard in the lineup, right? So this is a similar lineup. Obviously, Jeremy Grant's here in this lineup, so take away maybe a few touches here, but 32, 8, and 4 for Jusuf Nurkic the last time he played the Memphis Grizzlies and the last time he faced off against Steven Adams. Now, centers this season here against the Memphis Grizzlies have played pretty well. So Kelly Olynyk had 26 P plus R. Alperen Sengun had his best game of the year here, as you can see, 23 and 12, right? Just played absolutely phenomenal against the Memphis Grizzlies and Steven Adams. Nick Claxton had 16 and 7. Isaiah Hartenstein had 16 and 8, and Sabonis had 11 and 11. And I believe he fouled out of this game. So again, centers have played pretty well. I think overall we're looking at centers points wise against the Grizzlies here. Top 8. What is this? Top 10. 22.7 points per game. Rebounding, not as high, but definitely here 12.6 rebounds per game to the center position. But no Steven Adams in this game here. We're looking at an absolute smash buy. I mean, you could take a look at Nurkic's game log here without Damian Lillard last season. I mean, he was a monster. 18-14, 19-12, 20-14, 21-12, 21-22, 23-14, 23-16, 25-13, 27-15, 32-8, 29-17. I mean, he is a stat filler. I mean, he doesn't really need a ton. I mean, literally like 14 and 13 will hit the over on this. Like a simple game here of 14 and 13, or so many different combinations of rebounding plus points here. But I think he plays extremely well. I think he's really locked in. He's fully healthy. He's ready to go. Again, he had 42 points plus rebounds in that first game without Damian Lillard. We've already seen Alperen Sengun go for 23 and 12 in 27 minutes against the Grizzlies, and you have to consider like Alperen Sengun plays a very similar game to Jusuf Nurkic. Both, back to the basket, European type centers here. Love this play here for 26.5 points plus rebounds for Nurkic. I was kind of waiting for this player prop, or waiting for a Trailblazers prop here before putting out this video, because I do think this is some great value. Again, I'm taking Julius Randle over 18.5 points, Jusuf Nurkic over 26.5 P plus R, points plus rebounds for Nurkic. Drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.